Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be covering all the essential tools that you need to get started painting mandalas as a beginner. We're going to cover everything from the dotting tools to paint, and by the end you'll have everything you need to start your own mandala journey. But first, let's dive into what dotting tools are and how they can help us create those beautiful mandalas. So as the name suggests, dotting tools are designed to create dots, but y'all, they do so much more. They're actually really versatile tools, and I use them to make a variety of shapes and patterns. Now, depending on the tool, you can make dots and swooshes and swipes and teardrops and comma strokes and so much more. Y'all, I'll be covering all of that in my beginner series. I'm going to walk you right on through each of the techniques as we go, and if you check out this video linked right here, you'll get even more insights. But the point is, when you combine all of these shapes and sizes into this symmetrical circle of beautifulness, you're going to end up with a stunning mandala. Now, I can totally remember how intimidating it is to get started painting mandalas. It just seems like there's just so many different tools out there, so many different paints, so many terms that I didn't even know what they mean. And when you try looking them up, everybody calls everything different things, and it was just too much. Then on top of that, you start hearing everybody saying, you need all of these tools. Y'all, would you look at all of the dotting styluses I've bought over the years? Oh my gosh, y'all, how crazy is that? That's 5 years worth of trying, and you wouldn't believe I probably stuck with the first pair I bought. Oh, but there's more. I learned that there were dotting rods, and wow, they make awesome circles. I mean, they are such a great tool. You see them on YouTube and on your Facebook, and I mean, you gotta have some, right? Well, everybody has the best set, so I bought them. I've tried them all over the last 5 years. You guys, this is so overwhelming and just so crazy, and what a money pit. No, you guys don't need all of this. So I looked all over the internet to find a good beginner set that's going to give you everything you need to get started at a super, super low cost. This is what I came up with. You guys, I ordered myself a set, and this will be the set that I use in all of my beginner tutorials. All right, so let's get into this colorful set. Y'all, these are acrylic tools. This is the dotting styluses. These are the dotting rods. It looks like it comes with a couple of paintbrushes and a whole pack of little stencils here. Maybe that'll help get you going when you're stumped in the creativity department. You never know, it happens, I promise. But it also comes with a little paint palette that you can use to hold your paints while you're dotting. All I'm really concerned with are these dotting tools and this paint palette. All right, so let's tear into these packages and see what they hold. The first one I'm going to go through are the dotting styluses. Y'all, this is just a simple tool that has a long acrylic shaft that you can hold on to, and it's got 2 ball tips on either side. There's always a large end and a small end. Now, when we hold all of these tools together, you can see that one end of them is all the same size. It's 1.5 mm. That's millimeters, and that's the measurement I like to go by when you're talking dotting tools. It's a pretty standard measurement. Now, when you look at the other side of the tools, that's where all the different sizes are. This in particular set ranges from 3 millimeters all the way down to 0.8 mm. Y'all, that is so tiny. Now, these sizes are pretty standard for sets that look like this. Over the years, the only thing that I've really noticed that ever changes is the color. For the most part, every green tool I've ever gotten is 3, and the blue tool is almost always a 2.5. I don't think I've ever had anything other than a 2 millimeter white tool. But when it comes to the pink and yellow tools, you guys, I never know what I'm gonna get. And it's really hard to tell the difference between a 1 mm tool and a 0.8 mm tool. Sometimes you'll even get a 0.5 mm tool. My best advice is just to either look at the description that comes with your tools, or just make dots with them all and put them in order from biggest to smallest, you know, or you can just hold them like I am and you'll be just fine. It's not a huge problem. I'll always put the tool size that I'm using right down here in the corner, so you'll always know which one to use. All right, let's talk about acrylic rods. You guys, it is what it is. It's an acrylic rod, and each side is a dotting end. You can use either side you want to dip in your paint and make dots. Now, when you open your package, there's a couple of things I want you to look for. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is to put your tools in size order from largest to smallest, and I want you to compare them to my tools. If you're going to be following my beginner's tutorials, I want to make sure that you have the same size tools I have. And if you don't, I want you to be really sure to pay attention to the number and not the color. The second thing I want you to do is really look at the ends of these tools. Make sure that there's not any chips or nicks out of them, because I'd hate for you to start dotting with one that had a big chip in it and then you think it's all your fault that you can't make a circle when you just got a bum tool. If you have one that's chipped, I suggest sending the pack back and getting you another one. All right, y'all, you are totally ready in the tool department to follow my beginner tutorials. Now, if you don't have this set, if you have any other set, just make sure you know what the size of your tools is and you follow the number and not the color. All right, so let's get something to paint on. You guys, you can use art stones, you can use canvases, you can use, wood. Honestly, you could use a paper plate if you want. You just need something to do these mandalas on, and I'm going to recommend you get something at least 3 inches big all the way up to 6 inches. I'm going to be doing 3 different sizes in my tutorials. I'm going to be doing a 6-inch mandala, I'm going to be doing a 4.5-inch mandala, and a 3-inch mandala. Now, like I said, the surface, I don't care if you paint your own blue jeans. You just need to have something in that size department in order to follow along with these tutorials. All right, now that we have something to paint, y'all, we need guidelines. Those are just lines and circles that we put on our surface that help keep all of our dots in that nice symmetrical circle that make beautiful mandalas. Now, in all of my beginner tutorials, I'll be using my own DIY stencils. You guys, these are just digital downloads that you can download today. I'm going to leave a link down in the description for you so you can get yours. When you download one of my DIY stencils, it is just another way to support this channel and help keep these tutorials going. But please feel free to use whatever makes you most comfortable. I've left links for everything in this video down below. I really hope you check out my affiliate links. All right, let me think. We've got our dotting tools, we've got stencils, a paint palette, and something to paint. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, we totally need a paintbrush, y'all. We've got to paint these stones and these surfaces black or any color you want. Now, I use a flat brush. It's about 1 inch wide and it's got super soft bristles. I've gotten these brushes from Amazon, Walmart, wherever. It doesn't have to be expensive at all. I think mine are pretty cheap. Okay, once you have your base paint on there, you're going to want to put the guidelines down. Now, I use a watercolor pencil to put all of my lines and circles on my stones, just because it comes off really easily at the end with just a damp cloth or a wet cotton swab. I like to use the Faber-Castell pencils. I'll link them down below. They're just my favorite. Feel free to use whatever you're comfortable with. All right, grab you a handful of cotton swabs. You guys, you just need a basic cotton swab. I have 3 different kinds that I use. Some I use more than others, but there's a couple of small ones here that'll help get you through some tricky situations. In my opinion, they're a total necessity because I make a lot of mistakes. All right, now let's talk paint. This can get pretty tricky because there are so many different brands of paint out there, and there's really good brands of paint out there. But for the purpose of these beginner series videos that I'm about to do, I want to recommend DecoArt Americana. You guys, this is a really good paint right out of the bottle, perfect for beginners. It doesn't require a whole lot of manipulation to get a really good consistency for dots. So I am going to totally recommend that paint. And maybe pick yourself up a couple of reusable paint stirrers. Okay, so you're probably wondering what colors you should get to start off with. And you guys, I'm the worst person you could possibly ask this to. I love my paints. If you take a look at my art desk, I think I have everything I've ever laid my eyes on. I mean, it is pretty sad, and I don't know if I'm embarrassed or proud of it, but I don't think you should buy all of those paints either. Go and get yourself a good set of the DecoArt Americana and the DecoArt Dazzling Metallics. I promise I will keep it limited to that in my beginner series. Maybe I'll add a little glitter later, but for now, that'll get you. Okay, now, when you finish your mandala art, you're gonna want to put something over it to make sure that it's safe and beautiful for years and years and years to come. Now, if you're using an art stone, I'm gonna suggest that you give it a coat of resin. I use art resin, and I've made a full tutorial, and I've really broke it down because resin can be really intimidating, and I hope I've made it in a way that it's not intimidating and not very scary. It can be kind of expensive, but just know a little bit goes a very long way. But if you're not comfortable with resin, maybe you just want to take something out into the open and give it a good spray and be done, I recommend using Mod Podge Super High Shine Sealer. Y'all, I love this stuff. I think it looks just about as good as the resin. Now, if that's not your jam because you need to be indoors, maybe try some of Liquitex's High Gloss Varnish. All you do is spread it on with a paintbrush front and back, and it's gonna give you a really good finish. All right, you're also gonna need a compass and a ruler. Now, for the purpose of my beginner tutorials, you're just gonna need a small, inexpensive compass. Remove the pencil that it comes with and just put in an old watercolor pencil or whatever you're using there. It is so simple. Then get yourself a really good little flexible ruler. You guys, I think this one was under $2 or $3. It's not a big deal, but it is so very helpful. All right, I couldn't end the video without mentioning some of the Flow Aid additive. You guys, this is just something that I add to my paint. As those paints begin to age, it's almost like they dry out just a little bit and you feel like you need to thin them down. This is what I use. You're gonna see me using this in some of my videos, and I just wanted you to know what it was. The bottle on the left is what you buy, and then the bottle on the right that you'll see in my videos, I made. I bought a little dropper bottle. I pre-mixed the solution with water and put it in that dropper bottle. I've got a whole video on it. I've linked that down below too. Okay, well, you guys are gonna need one more thing, and it's the most important thing of all. You're gonna need a community. You need people to surround you that know something about this art or at least have the same interests as you. You guys, I'm never too far away from these comments. I want you to leave me your questions. I'm actually gonna answer them, and if I don't, there's gonna be plenty of people out there that will. This is the most wonderful community I have ever been a part of. Never in my life did I ever fit in anywhere until I started this channel. And holy moly, you guys, you just surround me. You make me so emotional because I just feel like I'm such a part of something. And I want all of the newcomers to feel as welcome as I do. I want you all to feel like you're family here, like we're friends, and we've got each other's back. We don't compete, we lift each other up. We don't down each other, we raise each other. You guys, it is a wonderful community, and you are more than welcome to be here. You guys, I want to be with you the entire way. I want you to share your art with me. I want you to fill that community page with pictures of your artwork, and I can't wait to watch you grow. All right, now I'm gonna go get busy with our new tools, and I am gonna come up with some really good beginner mandalas for you guys to follow along with. If this is your first time being here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I don't want you to miss one tutorial. You guys, this is gonna be so much fun. Here's a whole playlist of my beginner basics. That's gonna get you everything you need to know to get started. And right here below, I'm hoping this will be your first mandala tutorial. I hope you guys can paint with me. Until then, rock on.